So each letter in the word or name carries a numeric value, and when we add up all of the letters in a particular word or name, we have a numerical vibration. And we do that through two systems of numerology, the Chaldean and the modern system of numerology. And what you'll notice about the words that I break down in this presentation, you may see some alignment between the numbers and also the dictionary or denotative meaning of the words and the connotative and the social meaning of the words that I share, as well as a bit of what Jamila shared in her presentation. Now, Jamila, let me ask you this question real quick. Do we sit down and plan our presentations together?
We never do.
We never do. Did we compare notes and go through the bullet points of what we're going to talk about? Did we do that?
No, we did not.
No, we didn't do that. Now, in terms of the words, if you go back to your school days and they gave you the grammar rules for capitalizing titles, they tell you to capitalize the first word and the last word of the title, and they tell you to capitalize all of the major words in the title. Now, this presentation, as far as the words that I'm breaking down, it kind of carries a similar rule. So I'm not breaking down every single word in the title, but I'll just be focusing on the most important or the major words in the title, which will be wisdom, Ummi, and mother. So I'll be breaking down those three words. So I'll start with wisdom, and then I'll close out with Ummi and mother. Now, wisdom, dealing with the dictionary definition first, because not only do I get my lessons from Lloyd Strayhorn, but also King Simon, who was here a couple of weeks ago. He said that when we're breaking these numbers down, we need to look at the numbers holistically from all angles. The numbers, and then also providing the physical meaning of the words that we're describing. So going to Webster's, wisdom is defined as the quality of being wise, power of judging rightly and following the soundest course of action based on knowledge, experience, understanding, etc. Good judgment. And then when we go to the supreme lessons of the nations of gods and earth, shout out to the 5%ers, wisdom is the number 2 in the daily mathematics and also the 12 jewels of Islam. The manifestation of knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge being symbolic of the black man, wisdom being symbolic of the black woman. Knowledge is information, wisdom is the discernment and knowing when and how to apply the knowledge or the information. And as Jamila alluded to, in the biblical and the Gnostic tradition, Sophia is known as wisdom, and that's the feminine aspect of God's wisdom. Now, when we break down the numerology of wisdom in the two systems, it adds up to a 25-7 in the Chaldean system and a 29/11/2 in the Pythagorean system or the modern system. So we're starting to see that even before we bring in the mother aspect and the Ummi aspect, just the word wisdom alone carries that divine feminine energy. And we see that in both systems, the Chaldean and the Pythagorean. Why? Because the number 7 is a feminine number ruled by the element of water, and the number 2 is also a feminine number ruled by the element of water. And they're also connected to the moon. The number 7 was previously connected to Neptune, and then as astrology shifted over time, it also became connected to the moon. But I'm going to deal with the number 25 as a compound number first in the Chaldean system, and you notice that 2 in front of the 5 is there. That 2, again, that feminine number, symbolic of the woman, symbolic of wisdom. But the number 25, according to Chaldean numerology and compound numerology, the number 25 keeps one safe on water from drowning. Now, when we talk about water, water can be literal or water can be symbolic. Of course, we know literal water and the nature of water. Water can be gentle or water can be violent. Water can be a calm stream or water can be a raging river. But symbolically, water symbolizes wisdom. It symbolizes change, flows, purification, cleansing. Water is the source of life and creation. And water symbolizes emotions. Intense emotions equals intense waters. So having wisdom is keeping yourself centered and grounded when those metaphorical waters or emotions become heightened or intense. 25 is also the mystical guru with strong intuition, psychic abilities, and predictive dreams. So in order to be wise or to exercise and impart wisdom, you tap into your intuition. You have to listen to your intuition, follow your intuition, and heed your intuition. And wisdom often comes out of that intuition. Same thing with those psychic abilities. Jamila also referred to the clairs. And wisdom, when you use those psychic or spiritual abilities, such as the clairs, wisdom can come forth out of using those spiritual gifts.